So what
I
is
think
an NFT exactly? Because a lot of people might not understand it.
only place that you can do that for NFTs is on Mintable.
Have you suffered any failures, and how do you handle them? Yeah,
Man, of
that
course.
embarrassing failure you just thought of, that's the one I want on this video.
The entire code for Mintable, I can put it in a zip file, I can upload it on an NFT, and I can sell it on Mintable and say, for $100,000, if you buy this, you have the legal right to make a white label version of Mintable.
So can you put property on as an NFT? Let's say I want to sell my house, or let's take a real example. I have some land in Gannett I want to sell. Is it possible to put that on as an NFT? And if yes, how? Today I'm talking to Zach Burks of Mintable. We're going to talk about NFTs. We're going to talk about the NFT business, the concept, how it started, how you can get involved, and maybe even how to start a business from it. Zach, I'm super excited. Thank you so much for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm excited. I love NFTs, so I'm excited to be able to share the possibilities of what an NFT is and how people can get involved. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
So I got a question for you. I want to start a little bit about you and your mindset and how you got into this, because this isn't a cryptopreneur's channel, so it's very business orientated as well. So I got to ask you, what were you like before all this crypto NFT thing? If I met you in high school, what would I think about you?
You would think that I was a nerd, or that I was a jackass, because you know, it's high school. You're young, you're dumb. But you know, before crypto, actually out of high school, I joined the military, and I was in the military for 4 years. And then when I got out, you know, completely different person than back in high school, obviously. During actually, I think it was late high school, or maybe right after I left high school, is when I discovered Bitcoin.
Year?
And that's kind of how, sorry, what?
What year was this?
I found Bitcoin, well, I found Bitcoin in like 2011, but I didn't do anything with it. I didn't know anything about it. I was, you know, I was a kid. I remember asking my father to let me, you know, use his card to buy Bitcoin.
Did he?
And no, of course not. No. And
no.
But I did
regret it.
I mean, of course, and he regretted it. But my first Bitcoin buy was, I think, around 2013, around $5, and that's kind of when the whole, you know, rabbit hole started. I found it, didn't understand it. You know, I had a little bit of it. I actually framed my my email confirmation of my first buy for, you know, my first Bitcoin buy. Just because it's
how much was $5 in 2013? How much Bitcoin did that buy, if that's okay to ask?
I think that was one Bitcoin. Because
Bitcoin
because
was
on
$5?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because it said I bought one Bitcoin. It was like a $5 transaction.
Wow.
And I could be wrong. This is back home in California. I have it on my wall. But I got one Bitcoin, and I think it was about $5. And then like I think maybe a day or 2 days or a week later, I had another email from buying it again. And it was like $10, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, you know, it was there was probably some, you know, news article I saw that made me, you know, be like, oh, I heard about this, you know, 2 years ago. Let me get back into it.
Right.
Anyways, I still didn't know what it was. This was on Mount Gox. And so, yeah, of course.
Man. So you're on the waiting list?
Well, actually, believe it or not, because my email was exploited in one of the other exchanges at the time, hackers already claimed my claim on Mount Gox.
Oh my!
Right? It is what it is, man. Yeah, no, well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's not that big of a deal because, yeah, it's a lot of money now when you look at like the price of Bitcoin, but it's been so long, you know, I've written it off. And I still had some. It wasn't all my money or all my Bitcoins that was on Mt. Gox at the time when all that happened. I actually, you know, I was trying to run like a CPU miner way back. I think before I bought it, because obviously before I wanted to buy it, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get it for free. But anyway, so long story short, that's kind of how I found it. Joined the military, you know, didn't do anything with crypto while I was in the military. When I got out of the military is when I actually, I don't know why I decided to like maybe get back involved in crypto or look at it again, or, you know, maybe the price moved up and I was like, oh, you know, how much do I have now? But then once I got out, started to get real heavy into it. And then, you know, about 2015, I was, you know, real heavy into it. And 2016, I started becoming a smart contract developer for Ethereum. I saw Ethereum. I converted all my Bitcoin over to Ethereum in 2016, and, you know, never looked back.
Right.
So
you don't hold any Bitcoin whatsoever?
No, not anymore. No.
Oh, wow, you're an Ethereum maximalist.
No, I mean, I'm not a maximalist, but I do, if I'm going to invest in something, it's going to be Ethereum.
Right. So Ethereum maximalist.
Financially, a financial one, but not ideologically.
Right.
Ideologically, you know, Bitcoin's cool, but it's, you know, it's a little dated in terms of.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did Mintable start? First of all, how did Mintable start? How do you think of the concept? How did you get into it? And when was like the first time this is multiple questions, but when was the first time you discovered NFTs?
Yeah, we'll start with the NFTs one because that was before Mintable, obviously. Actually, so I saw CryptoPunks, which was like the very first kind of non-fungible token project that like took off. There were some other ones, you know, like colored coins and stuff on Bitcoin and like Pepe memes. But CryptoPunks was like the first one. This was before we had any kind of code standard for like ERC 721s. And I saw it and I was like, you know, why would I buy this? It's, you know, it's just like these, you know, avatars.
Right.
So I didn't buy any, but, you know, I saw it, I was interested in it. And then later that year, CryptoKitties came out. But the way that they came out, you know, it was presented at a hackathon, the ETH Waterloo hackathon. And I was at home watching the hackathon live stream, you know, and I was in California, this was in like Canada. And they, the CryptoKitties group at the team at the hackathon, they presented their game. And I was watching, I was like, wow, a game on Ethereum, you know, it's like the first one at the time. And I was like, I want to play. And they're like, hey, if you're at the hackathon, you know, you can play here at this URL. So I opened up my computer and I started playing, but you know, I'm not at the hackathon, so I'm not busy where everyone else is busy. So there's only like, I think like 5 or 10 people playing, and I'm just sitting at home spamming, you know, my CryptoKitties, trying to like breed them. So I won like the first 2 prizes that they were offering, which was like the first one to get like googly eyes and the first one to get some other trait. And so I won those. And so I like to say I was the first person to make money with CryptoKitties. Because you know, I guess I won the first 2 prizes. It's a weird flex.
I was this close to getting into it, this close, and I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a funny story. Benny, the guy who created it, when I messaged him and I told him like, hey, I won. Can I get the 2 ETH that I won? He was like, sure. Come over to the booth by the balloons. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm in California. Oh. And he's like, what? You're not even at the hackathon? And I was like, no. And he's like, and you won both of the 2 prizes? And I was like, yeah, sorry. So he wasn't happy. But
it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He said the ETH, so. Yeah, he gave them to me. And then, you know, I played when the actual game came out for a little bit. And that was how I got started with NFTs. Really, I was like, this, you know, there's a lot of potential here. I saw that, you know, because I was a smart contract developer at the time, and I worked on some, you know, ERC20 projects and some other smart contracts. Some, you know, I was making my own games, and like I made like some tracking smart contracts for other items. And this is where things clicked for me, because prior to that, I was working on tracking rare gems using the smart, you know, a smart contract on the blockchain, and I was like, hey, this applies directly to my last thing that I was trying to build out, right? And so I started looking into what an NFT could be, and I realized like there's a lot of potential for what an NFT can do, what it, you know, how it can help with adoption. And so once I learned about that, that's the beginning. You know, I've been doing NFT since.
Now, just for the audience sake, that CryptoKitties, those CryptoKitties cats, how much were they worth, or how much are they worth today? So people can get a concept of this.
To be honest, I don't know, man. I've got them. I probably still have some in my account. I haven't looked. I don't. I'm not. I'm not too interested. I might be seeing like a $50,000 cat. I don't know.
But they can reach. That's what I'm saying. They can reach up to that value. They can reach up to 50,000 easily. Yeah.
I think the record was like 200,000 USD at the time.
Wow.
For one cat, and that was like the Genesis kitty. Now this was a long time ago, and I don't follow CryptoKitties anymore. They've kind of got their own, game ecosystem now. People that play it, or they're real hardcore players. I don't follow it anymore. Having interacted with it for years now, probably actually since like a few months after it came out. But they still are active. People are still trading them. People are still playing the game. I think they're on the Flow blockchain now, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't really follow their project too much.
Here's another question: how come they didn't make a crypto puppies or crypto pups and actually make it interchangeable right now through Polkadot or something?
They could have. And they came out with Cheese Wizards, which was like another kind of variation. And they've done a lot of like different promotional marketing between different projects, where they came out with like Dragon Kitties, or I think they did like some Axie and CryptoKitty combinations. It's cool. It was a good entry point to get people to realize what about NFTs. It's always it's the go-to.
Yeah.
NFTs, CryptoKitties, right? They go hand in hand as explaining them. And I think it was a good eye-opener for scalability issues, good eye-opener for, things outside of the financial market that can be applied on Ethereum, right? Where it's not just all DeFi. There's the possibility to have, games and interactions and real-world things. And a lot of those, they use NFTs because NFTs are so, vast and vague in what they can be. And so because of that, I think it was an important milestone in Ethereum's history, right, for CryptoKitties. But it definitely isn't going to win like a Game of the Year award, right? It's so
what is an NFT exactly? Because a lot of people might not understand this. And can you please tell me what fungible means?
Yeah.
Or
yeah. So NFT is non-fungible token. So it's a token on the blockchain. It's kind of like a token, in the sense that if you go on Binance or any exchange, you're trading tokens, right? So this is a token that's in your wallet, but it's non-fungible. So, a good example of non-fungibility is, so say, you have $1 and I have $1. That's a fungible asset. And so we can stand and exchange our dollars back and forth. And we could do that 1 million times. And we're both going to walk away at any point with exactly the same amount of money, a $1 bill, right? We'll have $1, you'll have $1.
Right.
We'll have different ones because we've swapped them back and forth, but we still have $1 in terms of, the value.
Gotcha.
With a non-fungible asset, you can't do that. A good example would be like you have a baseball card or like a Pokemon card, and I have, a marriage certificate, right? These are two non-fungible items. If we switch them, one of us is going to lose because like one of us is going to be married, right? And one of us is going to have a baseball card.
Got you.
So the thing about the fungible item aspect is that it doesn't have a fixed market price. You can't go into a grocery store and exchange a baseball card for an apple or, a soda, right? You're not going to be able to, the store won't accept that as Tinder, right? They don't accept that as a valuable currency that could be exchanged. And so that's kind of, when you look at a non-fungible token, it's an asset that, could be artwork, it could be a baseball card, and each asset itself has its own value that's inherent to the asset. So if you have a very common baseball card, it's not going to be as, as rare or valuable as my baseball card that maybe is, super valuable. And so each asset has its own market price.
So here's a question I used to have. A lot of people used to have. Now I've since found the answer, but I want people to hear it straight from you, straight from Zach, which can probably explain a lot better than I can. Why would an asset on the blockchain, as for example, as a picture of something, be actually worth something? Zach, 1 second. Sorry, the doorbell just rang. I'll cut this part out of the video. Can you just give me one
Yeah, that's
second?
fine.
I'm so
Go
sorry.
for it. Yeah, go for it. No worries.
Sorry, man. It's embarrassing, but
No, it's fine.
my question is, would cryptocurrency be a non-fungible token or not, and why? Just so people can get it more.
No. So a normal coin that's got like a market that it's being traded on against like the dollar or Bitcoin, that's a fungible asset. So that has a market price that is
Gotcha.
reflected across multiple locations. So it may be a little bit different on one exchange to another, but generally you have the same price. Like Bitcoin's at like what, 38,000 right now or something like that, right? So it's a
Right.
fungible asset. I can go to the store and spend Bitcoin, depending on the store.
Oh, Starbucks. Starbucks in America.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's fungible.
So how did Mintable start? How did you start Mintable? How did you come up with it and everything?
Yeah. So I found, once I found CryptoKitties, I was really, really diving deep into NFTs. And so I was getting certified for Consensus, which is the, kind of the investment company. It's from Joe Lubin, one of the co-founders of Ethereum. He founded Consensus, and they have a program for you to get certified as a developer. And this was like the first like version of this thing. And so I applied, and I just wanted to get a little certificate that said, I'm certified, and maybe it'll help me work with other projects or whatever. And at the end, you have to make your own project, which is fine. I made a few dApps before in different projects, and so I was like, I don't know what to make. I like NFTs. I'll just make like a NFT generator so that people can make their own NFTs. Because this was, this was like in 2018, and at the time, the only place for you to, the only way for you to make an NFT was for you to deploy a smart contract yourself, do the coding yourself, right? Which obviously not very many people could do. So I made this tool that just let you fill out a form, basically. It's like put in the name, put in your symbol, put in the image that you want, and then it'll generate you a smart contract, and you own it, you control it. And I realized, I was like, well, if someone's using this, they're going to need to be able to transfer NFTs and mint more NFTs and do all these things related to their NFT. Because at the time, there was no place on the internet like my crypto and my Ether wallet. They didn't support NFTs. MetaMask doesn't support NFTs. And so, there was no support, so they couldn't like transfer it or do anything with it. So I made the manager as well. Submitted that project, got an A, was good to go, done with the course. And I realized, I was like, hey, I started like Googling, and I was like, there's nowhere on the internet that you can do this. There's nowhere to manage NFTs. There's nowhere to create NFTs. I was like, this is kind of a good idea. I was like, if there's no one else on the internet doing it and it's like really new, maybe I should like pursue this. So I continued doing more stuff, and we released the alpha version of Mintable in December of 2018. Then the beta came in April of 2019. And so we were the first tool to create and manage your NFTs. And so we ran that, the beta version, up until December of this year. So just, like a month and a half ago, where we've completely upgraded everything that we've been working on for like a year to version 2.0, which is like, we call it a next generation marketplace because it's the next generation of what NFT marketplaces should be. Compared to like the original marketplaces that were created like OpenSea. It's much better, and it's more familiar for new users to help with adoption and stuff.
Right.
We ran that, and that was really cool. We made like thousands and thousands of NFTs. We made thousands of smart contracts for users. We had like 5,000 users, 4,000 users from that beta. And then once we launched the version 2, that really, it's only been a month and a half, but it's been really good, really well received. We've seen a lot of growth, a lot of users, and like later this week, I'll be releasing an update that does transaction-free minting. So you'll be able to make NFTs, without having to pay the transaction fee. And so we got a lot of big updates that we got planned, and it's been going really well.
So I got to ask, because I got involved with, I didn't get involved with it. I tried NFTs, I tried them out. I first tried NFTs on Rarible. And then OpenSea, I kind of like automated it going over there and so on. And in the beginning, I figured I'll just put artwork. So I actually paid a designer to make me a picture of Miss Satoshi. And what it was supposed to be, it was an alternate universe sort of Satoshi type. It was going to be a comic book or something like that. She drew it out and she made it into a collectible. I put it up on an NFT. Then I made little cards on So Very Crypto. That's, if you put So Very Crypto on Rarible, you'll find it. But my question was, and then after that, I actually put my books as downloadable. So I put the book cover that's actual downloadable. So if you buy the NFT, you get the book. And I also did old music of mine because I used to MC and actually rap back in the day. Which did pretty well, by the way. I was actually doing good with that. But anyway.
I used to do that too. That's why I laughed.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Okay. I thought you were laughing at me.
Maybe we'll do it. We'll do a song together.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's free song. So anyway. But here's my question. So I put the I put this NFT up. Let's talk about the creation, the artwork. A lot of people don't understand why somebody can't take a picture of it and use the same one or screen share it. But I understand. We understand the Mona Lisa example. Somebody takes a picture of the Mona Lisa, it's not a Mona Lisa. But is there any other way to explain why it doesn't work? That doesn't work, and why it has value?
Yeah. Real quick though, question: did any of your NFTs sell? Did you sell any of them?
Very few.
Very few. That's the problem with Rarible. Yeah. We could dive into that later.
We're going to talk about that later. You're going to help me sell some NFTs, man. Because they're really top quality, and it's not cheap. What I did was not cheap. You know what I mean? Also, I think I was the first person to put my book and music on as an NFT. I'm not sure. I might have been either one of the first.
You're one of the first. You're not the first, but you're one of the first.
Crypto Factor, for example, you can get this as an NFT, right?
Right. You should do that on Mintable, because the thing is if I buy that NFT on Rarible, there's a link that you put, right?
Right.
I can share that link with anyone, right? I could just send that out in an email. I can put it on Reddit, right? It's a really bad system that Rarible does, and there's also no protection. How do I know you didn't put a virus in there and you're not gonna steal my crypto? You know? No, now people are not going to buy.
That was actually one of the questions I wanted to get to. That's actually one of the questions I wanted to get to. So,
but with Mintable, we solve all that. But anyway, so
I never downloaded anything. I never downloaded anything on Rarible. Anything I bought, I resold, but I never downloaded anything.
It's sketchy. Yeah, we'll
That's
talk
scary,
on that. Dude. Yeah, it is. And I don't think a lot of people don't even think about that.
No, to be honest, I was scared. I was worried about it. I didn't know it could be possible or not, but I didn't on purpose. I'm very, very worried about.
It's very much possible. Well, you should be, especially when it's just a random link to like a Google Drive. Like you don't even know who that person is. They're just telling you to download this file.
I had mine on my website. I didn't put it in the Google Drive. If that helps.
Right.
But still.
Maybe. I mean.
But still.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's still sketchy, right?
Who knows?
That's why
I don't know what it is.
Right. Exactly. But your question was, why can't you just right-click save or take an image? Why buy it? Here's the thing. So I right-click, I save your cover for your book. I can't resell your cover. I can't resell your book, right? I can't list that for sale, right?
Yeah, you're not allowed to. You could, but you're not allowed to. Yeah.
Well, I can make a new NFT using that image.
Right.
But I can't resell it and like flip it for a profit. I can try to make a new NFT, and if I make that new NFT, then obviously it's really easy to say, oh, this is a scam, this is a fake. So the resellability is one. The actual ownership, you touched on the Mona Lisa aspect. Like I take a photo of the Mona Lisa, I don't own the Mona Lisa, right? I can't. It's not valuable, the photo that I took. But when you actually have the asset, it is valuable. You do have the ownership of it, right? You can do with it what you want. You can delete it, like, burn it, or you can resell it, or you can keep it forever. And then when you look at something like Mintable, there's even more to it. Like, so with Mintable, you can't access the file unless you own that NFT. So if you put your book, you don't need a link to your website. You can actually upload your PDF, your ebook, your audiobook, whatever, literally any file that you want that's under 3 gigabytes. You can attach that to the NFT, and then only that person who currently has that in their wallet can download that file, right? And so, when you look at it that way, yeah, I can save the low resolution image of your
Right.
book cover, but I can't download the book itself. And there's also the redeemability aspect. Maybe you say, hey, if you bought this NFT, which is my book, you get the book, but you also later, when I release my second book, you can send that NFT back to me and redeem it, and I'll send you a free copy of my second book,
Oh
right?
wow, yeah.
Or
That's a good idea.
right. Yeah, and we're working on something called redeemable NFTs, which is where you'll be able to say, if you're a musician, you release your rap song, your new single, right? It's about how you made all that money from crypto. And anyways, you'll sell 100 of them, right? They get to download the single, the track itself, the MP3. You sell it for $100, so it's really expensive for just a song, but it's redeemable. So anytime they redeem it, within the next year, they'll get a free ticket to your concert, one of your concerts that you're
Nice.
presenting at. So they have a reason to buy it because they get the song, they get to listen to the song. They can resell it so someone else can get the song, or they can redeem it and get whatever offer that you're offering them for being a fan of yourself or being a collector of your stuff. And so you can't do that if you just save the image. So yeah, NFTs are more than just the image themselves, especially when we move outside of art. If it's a PDF, what am I gonna? I'm gonna save the cover image of a PDF. Like, okay, that's not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna gain any information from that. So
Yeah, it's also about supporting artists. By the way, if you are watching this, if you're part of the audience, here's an idea. If you're a cryptopreneur or an aspiring cryptopreneur, what I would do right now would I approach artists, I would approach musicians, I would approach anybody that I could actually mint their music on, offer them my services to do it for them and get a commission off them, right? You can literally make money like this. And you can do it on Mintable, actually. Hit the like button if you like the idea. Hit dislike if you don't.
we actually have some people doing that on Mintable. There's so he's from Venice, and he I don't know if he runs the gallery. I don't know if he just knows these artists, or if he owns the paintings themselves. But he curates artwork for certain artists in Venice, and he sells them as NFTs. And so we did a press release about it, actually, because he wanted one of our pro packages that we offer to help get creators publicity and to get their content out there. And so we did a press release where we talked about the artists that he's covering, and these artists are really cool. I can't pronounce their names. It's like an Italian name, and I'm American, so it's like some I don't know. I want to say bruschetta, but that's that's a food. But they're really legitimate arts, and he's actually won a few awards for his art, and it's displayed in galleries and stuff.
Wow.
And so it's really cool. And that is a business opportunity with NFTs. Another thing is to use them to increase your ability to convert. And to make a cycle of continuous engagement for your fans and followers. They're pretty powerful, and if you're creative, then you can use NFTs in really unique ways. So yeah.
So I have a question for you. I want to give out stuff on this channel. I do different things. Like I'll give out ballet cards. Ballet cards. I would give out my Burks and stuff like that. How would I do that with NFTs? Because I was thinking about doing it with NFTs. But what if somebody doesn't know how NFTs work yet, or how would I make sense of that? What would you do if you were me?
Yeah, we get it a lot. A lot of people, a lot of creators, a lot of YouTubers, they're saying, hey, I want to have, I want to airdrop all these NFTs, or I want to make it where they can, claim their own NFT. And so there is a way you can do it, but they all require one thing, which is that the person has an Ethereum wallet, right? So they have MetaMask or something in their browser, and either they're able to submit a transaction and pay a slight fee, or you're willing to submit that transaction to transfer the token. But depending on which route you want to go, it could be as simple as we have batch minting, so you can make 100 NFTs per episode, and then they can claim it on your website, and you can give them they'll send you their address, and then you just send the NFT to them. Or you can do something that we call a printable series, which is something that only Mintable has. And basically you can say, hey, this series only has 100 tokens. There's only ever going to be 100 in the series. and they're basically free. They're like $1, right?
Could an
And so they can just go and claim them.
Could an NFT be considered a cryptocurrency since you're giving it out to a crypto wallet without them having to be in the platform? So I can invent my own money using NFTs in a barter sort of way.
No, not really. It's more akin to a gift card, not really money.
Okay.
And that's only if you want to use it in a currency manner. When you say, can it be a cryptocurrency, there's that word currency.
Crypto token.
Right? Well, yes, it is a token.
Most cryptocurrencies cryptocurrencies that people consider currency are actually tokens anyway, though.
Right, and so all cryptocurrencies are tokens, but not all tokens are cryptocurrencies.
Gotcha.
Right. So yeah, you can make like a gift card out of an NFT, but obviously only you are going to accept that NFT as value, right? So it's not actual legal tender. It's not money. You're just accepting it as a redeemable item.
But you can barter.
Right, you could. And this is why it doesn't fall into a currency, because it's like saying a baseball card. Is a baseball card a currency? Right. It's like, no, it's not.
Right,
it's just,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's talk about MetaMask for a second, because a lot of people, including me in the beginning, are very reluctant to put MetaMask onto a decentralized platform to be able to go in and out, and they don't understand how that happens or how that works, or if they can take your money. And I think this sways and makes a lot of people not join places like maybe Mintable, Rarible, OpenSea, and so on. It's kind of scary. Even ICOs, like through MetaMask with this DeFi thing, Uniswap, it's scary. How can you explain it in a way so people will have peace of mind, like connecting your MetaMask to a platform?
Yeah, you shouldn't be afraid to connect your MetaMask to a platform. So connecting your MetaMask isn't dangerous if you just connect it. Because when you connect it, all it does is establish a connection between that website and the blockchain. So it will be able to say, it can see your account, and it can like your address, and then it can see your account balance, right? So the worst they can do is say, hey, this IP address or this user, they have 5 ETH, they have 100 ETH, or they have, a million, right? That's the worst thing you can do if you connect it. And that's just a privacy issue. You're not going to lose any money if you just connect your wallet. Now, even a malicious website can't just steal money on your MetaMask. What's going to happen is anytime money is going to come in and out of MetaMask, or anytime anything happens with MetaMask, you have to approve it. And so the way that a malicious website is going to steal money from your MetaMask is they're going to make either a fake MetaMask pop-up or a fake, interaction where it says like, hey, you're entering this trade on Uniswap. But in reality, what they actually send to your MetaMask is different than what they tell you it is. And unless you look at MetaMask and look like, hey, why is it sending all my Ether? Then you may not realize that. Maybe you just get into the habit of just
so it's like a man in the middle attack.
No, it's like a social engineering attack. They'll basically just lie to you. They'll make you think something, but it's not happening. And that's the worst that can happen, essentially. Anything else, obviously, never enter your private key or mnemonic phrase anywhere. Never do that. So any website that asks for that, instantly it's a scam. Just exit the page. Never enter any phrase, any seed phrase, any private keys. Never upload your wallet file or anything like that. If you use that,
check the address of where you're going.
Yeah, check the address too. That's the social engineering, right? Maybe they say, oh, you're depositing it into this pool to stake or something like that. But in reality, it's just like going to a different address than what you think. But that's hard because you have to really know, like, is this the Uniswap contract address, right? Most people don't know that. I don't know that. I'd have to look it up and then compare it. The main thing is to check the website. Check the website that you're on. And so never go via Google, right? Like if you want to go to Mintable, don't Google Mintable and then click on the first result. Don't do that. Just go to the website directly, right? If you're going to go to Uniswap, never, ever, ever type in Uniswap on Google and then click on it, right? Never do that for any crypto website. Never do it for Binance, Coinbase, MyCrypto, MyEtherWallet. These are all security practices that you have to follow. And then, of course, your MetaMask should only have a little bit of money in it. It should never have your full amount of money in it. it's considered a hot wallet, right? So that's where you put just, if you're going to buy an NFT, it's $50. Put $50 in your MetaMask, buy the NFT, and now you're good. But connecting your wallet's not dangerous, and then just watch what happens if, for example, if you're on Mintable and you click buy, it's going to say, here's how much you're going to pay. You press proceed, and then MetaMask will pop up, and the amount that's in MetaMask should match what's on the website, right? It should say, oh, there was $50. This is $50. Okay, that makes sense, right? And then obviously, like, Mintable is an old crypto company. For crypto startups, it's quite old. It's a little bit over 2 years now, and we've got thousands of users. So Mintable is trustworthy in the sense of, like, you're not gonna see a difference between what we show on the page and what you have in your wallet. Like, we're not gonna scam you. But if there's a new project that just comes out and it's like a week old, a month old, some DeFi project, those projects you need to be careful about, because those could be a scam, right? Those haven't built any trust up. They haven't, earned people's, reputation of saying they're trustworthy. So those are the ones you need to be careful of. But when you use trusted websites, Uniswap, Coinbase, OpenSea, Mintable, these places are, they're trustworthy. People use them and rely on them, and, they're not going to, scam you.
Got you. So how is, by the way, you said earlier on, you're going to have 0 fees for creating and selling and everything. Yeah. How is that possible? You're going to use something else other than Ethereum as a platform, or some sort of layer?
No, but we do actually support 2 blockchains. We do have a Zilliqa version for the Zilliqa blockchain, which is another blockchain. It's a proof of stake sharded blockchain. And that has really low fees, really fast transaction times. So that's live. You can go to zilliqa.mintable.app and you can do it on the Zilliqa blockchain, or mintable.app for the Ethereum blockchain. But this is on Ethereum, and the way it works, it's pretty cool. Basically, there's an infinite number of NFTs that already exist, and we do some magic to give you not an infinite number, but let's see, what is like 2 raised to the 24th power? Whatever 2 raised to the 24th power is the number of NFTs that you actually own already. Even if you've never used Mintable, you already own them. But they're kind of like dead NFTs. They don't have any data associated with them.
Okay.
And they don't appear in your wallet. If you try to like look in your wallet, they're not going to appear. So the way it works is basically you go on Mintable, you fill out the information that you want, and then that NFT is then awakened, right? It becomes alive. And the data is stored, the Mintable, the NFT itself will have the image that you put using Mintable. And then it still doesn't appear in your wallet, though. It only will appear in your wallet once either someone buys it or it gets transferred to yourself. You transfer it to yourself, or you transfer it to another wallet or a friend. Then it will appear in that wallet. Because the way the blockchain works in these websites that show it in your wallet, they look for a special event, a transfer. When an NFT gets transferred, it's considered created, even though they already exist. So, yeah, it's just a little bit of magic. And what it means is that you don't have to submit a transaction to create the NFT. When you do it on Mintable, it'll be listed for sale. We'll show it in your wallet on Mintable because we know that you made it, and we don't have to listen for that transfer. But if you try to add it on your MetaMask, it's not going to appear.
Gotcha.
Which that's the real downside to doing this. But the upside is you don't have to pay. Yeah, you don't have to pay the $10, the $20 if gas fees are really high to make your artwork. So we're going to have a lot of new people making NFTs. They just need to have a wallet. They don't even need to have money in that wallet, which is really good. And so we expect to have a lot more NFTs, but there might be a little bit of spam because there's no barrier for entry.
Makes sense.
And so we have a way to deal with that as well. We're coming out with this really cool voting system. And that's going to be exciting. A lot of people are going to like this because they'll be able to vote.
Do you guys have your own token?
So not an ERC20. We'll never have an ERC20 token. We'll never do an ICO ever. We've turned out a lot of money to do an ICO, and we'll never will. But we made a DAO because we wanted to be community governed. Right. And the issue was all DAOs run on tokens. So I started looking at the DAO smart contracts, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to write my own DAO, and we'll do it with NFTs. We're an NFT platform, so if we're going to have any kind of governance token, it should be an NFT. which makes a lot of sense because that's one of the use cases of NFTs, but we're the first person to ever do it, which is kind of weird. So we're the first DAO that's ran by NFTs, and basically whenever you use Mintable, you get votes in the DAO, which is an NFT. So if it's like your first time and you buy an NFT, you actually get two. You get the one that you bought, and then you get the voting NFT for Mintable, which lets you vote in our DAO and have a say in how the platform is ran and governed and future upgrades and anything.
So let me ask you. So is there a way to somebody to invest in your company? For example, do you have like tokens that people can invest in that'll go up over time because they're connected to Mintable? Like so, it's like an NFTCO.
NFTCO. Oh man, so
good idea if you don't.
But no,
I
it's not that. So according to our lawyers, no. The answer is no.
Are you not allowed to do that?
Well, the answer is just plain no. But what we do have is, so you earn those votes if you buy or sell NFTs on Mintable. So if you sell your book, you're going to get some votes on the platform. And then you can sell those. You can sell those on Mintable, and you can sell those on other NFT marketplaces, right? So you technically do have a way that people can buy those. Like if I wanted to, I could buy all the votes that are for sale on the market, and then expect that, over time, Mintable is going to blow up, and so therefore those votes are going to gain in price. And actually, the first thing that was proposed to our DAO was a way for the votes to be exchanged and swapped for the money that Mintable's made. So if you have half of all the votes in the DAO, and Mintable has made $1 million in fees, you can swap those votes for $500,000, right? And so it's a direct, conversion of 50% of the fees. You have 50% of the votes, just exchange the two, and now you have, $500,000 in ETH from the votes that you have from Mintable. So with that being added in the DAO, the amount of transactions that Mintable does should directly correlate to the amount of money that we made and the amount that you can exchange and pull out, right? So you can remove that money if you want, if you have votes. Now, one of the things is maybe you don't want to wait to sell all your NFTs to gain the votes. So we actually sell votes directly on the smart contract. So you can go to mintable.app/vote, and you can directly buy votes from the smart contract, and it uses a bonding curve.
How much is the
so
vote
if you
right
want to put it, it's tied to ETH. So it fluctuates with ETH's price. When we launched the DAO in December, ETH, wasn't that expensive. It was like $600, $500.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be like $250 is what it was supposed to be per vote. But now, because ETH is like doubled, it's probably around $5 a vote, right?
Nice.
So yeah, and if you put in, say you're like, I'm going to put in 100 ETH, you get all these votes. Maybe you make a proposal and you want the company to do something else to make votes more valuable. You can do that, right? And if whatever proposal you propose, if it passes, then it happens. So you can vote that we do an ICO. And if it passes, then we'll have to do an ICO. And I'll be upset.
Maybe get in trouble. Do the votes have a cap? Do they have like so many votes you can get, or is it?
Yeah, there's only 10 million votes that are out there in circulation.
Nice.
And once those are up, then that's it. There's no more votes to be gained. You have to buy them on the secondary market from other people that have votes. And then if you're actually an investor, we are actually raising our round right now. We'll be closing it here in a few weeks to maybe a month. It's almost full, but we're always willing to talk to potential investors, and yeah.
Nice. Let me ask you this now. I want to ask one more question. I want to go into a little bit more questions. The people are going to love these questions, by the way. Is it possible to bring NFTs from Rarible and OpenSea straight to Mintable? Is there an automated system that they're all, So I could literally come onto Mintable with my NFT.
Yeah, it's not automated. Yeah, but so the way it works is it's not an automated system, but you could just go to Mintable. You make an account on Mintable. Then you go to your profile, and it shows all your NFTs.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Oh, because
then you can
it's
just
connected to your MetaMask.
Right, exactly. So it shows all the NFTs you have in your wallet. The only thing is Rarible uses 1155s, which is a different standard of it's a semi-fungible token, not a non-fungible. We don't support 1155s. So you can make 721s, which are non-fungible tokens on Rarible, and those will show up. And anything you make on OpenSea is also going to show up. But if it's a 1155, we don't support that right now. We may support that later. Maybe if someone votes for
Can
it,
I
and the
still use
DAO
Mintable
will
to sell
support
them?
it. Yeah. So as long as it's a 721, you can sell any NFT. And everything that you make on Mintable also can be sold on Rarible and OpenSea at the same exact time. So you can make your book on Mintable, and you can list it for sale on Rarible and OpenSea and Mintable, and
Nice.
all three at the same time. So you get like triple exposure. And then once they buy it, they'll just go to Mintable to download the book, and then they can access that and then resell it in other places.
Does Mintable have more exposure in general? Like would it sell more?
So I mean, it's been like a month and a half since our marketplace launched. So we're still growing. We're obviously not at the level of like OpenSea, the largest one, right? But we're the fourth largest in terms of transactions after a month and a half. So that's really good, right? That we immediately are up in like the top 5. And then we expect here we're going to be doing physical items so that you can ship physical items. So if someone buys your NFT, you can mail them your book, right? So we'll be doing that.
Will it be automated?
An ecosystem for that.
As in print on demand?
I mean,
because I'd be so happy.
That's hard. It's not going to be print on demand because like we're not focused on like books, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to be like any other website that you would sell your book on. If you're going to do like, I don't know, do you use eBay where you're at?
I don't, but I'm sure people do sell. I think one of my co-authors is using eBay to sell one of our books.
It's just like that. What you're going to do is you're going to make your listing for your NFT, and then when someone buys it, you're going to go to your post office and mail the book, right?
That's pretty awesome.
And then once they receive it, the money will get sent back to you. It's all crypto, so the crypto gets into your wallet. And so we'll be the first NFT place to do that. With the gasless minting as well, we'll be the only place to make 721s for free. And so, I mean, it's only a short amount of time before we become number 1.
And that's a good transition. I love that attitude. And that's a good transition. What makes Mintable different? What else is different about Mintable? And if there's anything else that's different about Mintable compared to OpenSea or Rarible or whatever other?
Yeah, man, there's a ton. So I've been in the space for so long. I've watched. I saw when Rarible launched. Yeah, I will. I've watched since the beginning, and I've seen all the problems on all these marketplaces, and I've seen why we haven't had really high adoption of NFTs is because of these marketplaces. So first off the bat, Mintable takes normal e-commerce websites and it puts that into the blockchain of NFTs. So if you look at Amazon, and then you look at Rarible, and then you look at OpenSea, and then you look at Mintable, only one of them is going to look like Amazon, and that's Mintable. Right, the other two just don't even look like an e-commerce website, and the Rarible is horrible for e-commerce. But NFTs are e-commerce transactions. So we built everything focused around what has e-commerce giants already built and established as principles of success, right? And that's what we built for Mintable. So one of the things is when you sell on an e-commerce platform like Amazon, Etsy, Lazada, eBay, you can promote your item and it will show at the top of the page, it'll show on the home page or whatever, right? You can do that on Mintable. Why? Because it lets you get exposure. When there's millions of NFTs, you want people to see your book. You're selling your book for $100. Why not put $10 down for advertising?
Yeah, of course.
Right? So only place that you can do that for NFTs is on Mintable. The only place that you can batch mint NFTs, like we could do 2,000 NFTs in a single transaction, which saves you a ton of money in fees. Mintable, only place you can do it. The only place you can upload a file larger than like 200 megabytes, Mintable. The only place that protects you by scanning those files for viruses before they're uploaded or downloaded, Mintable. The only place that has unlimited support for files, literally any file type, from a PDF, video, a movie, any file type you can upload. You can't do that anywhere else. 3D support, so you can upload 3D items, and there's a 3D viewer, so you can like interact with the item. I think printable series, gasless minting, physical items. If you're buying a video NFT, you could get this really cool physical display called an infinite object. And this infinite object is a way for you to show off artwork in your house. And you can't edit it, you can't turn it off, you can't change it.
Oh, wow.
It will only display the artwork itself. So Like, I mean, you see my TV, I can put up an artwork right there, and then I can just, change it to a different artwork every day. But that doesn't work with NFTs. So we partner with a company called Infinite Objects, which only lets you load a video one time, and then it just plays it on loop 24/7, and you just plug it in, and you can turn it off, but you can't change the video. You can't like make a new video or update it. And so that's really cool. You can buy that right now.
This can really develop into a lot of use cases, by the way.
It can. It really can. But again, you're only going to find that on Mintable. And there's even more. From the way that our profiles are built out and the way that you have complete control, you can edit your listings. You can't do that on Rarible. You can't do that on OpenSea. You can't even create a listing. It just reads from the token.
Yeah, so, a lot of times I wrote something different and I had to change it. I had to like take the whole thing down and go up and spend ETH to do it, and it was really annoying. It made me stop using it. Right. With Mintable, we look at Amazon, eBay, Etsy. If I have a typo in my Amazon listing, I just press edit. You know what I mean? Why would it be any other way? And also, if I'm selling, some shoes on Amazon, they let me write whatever I want about my shoes so that I can sell them. They don't look at it and say, "Oh, these are Reebok shoes, size 10." That's it. Right? They don't. But that's what happens on OpenSea and Rarible. It looks at the item, the NFT, and it says, "Oh, it's CryptoKitty number 5,432." Well, that's the title. That's all you can put for the title. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's not going to help me sell my item. And this is why. Yeah, exactly. And this is why I asked you if your NFT is sold, because the problem is like 99% of the NFTs on Rarible will never sell because there's no way for you to stand out. My problem is discovery, not sales copy. I've authored a few books on sales. Right, but you can't stand out. You can discover easy on Rarible. You just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Yeah. But all they're going to see is the cover. Scrolling? Everyone's not really, very rarely. Right, and maybe if they type in the word book, does your NFT appear? Right. I haven't tried it because I gave up with it. I had other things to concentrate on. It's there. Right. It will work on Mintable. And I'll tell you it'll work because we have an algorithm that I gotta get on there. That anything that you have in your description, your title, your tags, we have a tag system too. Oh, wow. I forgot two really big things that I think are killer features. Direct messaging. So if I want to know more about your NFT, your book, I can direct message you. That is awesome. Right. You'll be able to, it's just like Twitter, right? You're just going to get a message that says, "Hey, tell me more about this book. Why should I buy it?" And then ratings and reviews. We copied Amazon's review system identically, the same algorithm for calculating the weights of the reviews. So if you're a scammer, I'm going to give you a 1-star review, and people are going to see that. You're going to have a big like warning thing on your account that says like bad seller, and you're not going to be able to scam anyone. Let me ask you this. Can people abuse that, by the way? No, actually. So the beauty of the blockchain is you have to buy the item to leave a review. Yes. Yeah, of course. You can only leave a review for someone else. So you can't buy your own item and then leave a review. So, there's probably some way you can abuse it slightly. It's not perfect. No system is perfect. But it's much better than like a little check mark. Oh, yeah. Plus, it's the beginning. So can you put property on as an NFT? Let's say I want to sell my house, or let's take a real example. I have some land in Gannett I want to sell on the mountain, view of the beach from high up though. Very nice area. We're expanding there. Is it possible to put that on as an NFT? And if yes, how? Yeah, it is. There's actually a company that does it already, a blockchain company. Really? I think they work in like the Midwest of America, or like Chicago or somewhere. They've sold a few houses. They've tokenized it. It's called like Realty. And then there's actually a few others. It's a very popular idea. And like we're working with the project right now who is working on it as well. They're going to be doing an apartment. And so you'll be able to buy units, and the units will be an NFT. The way it works is based off your local laws. So you're going to have to talk to a lawyer that specializes in real estate, that understands the local laws of how transactions occur, what your country or your state dictate for what a deed is and all that stuff. But then you're going to put all that onto the NFT itself. Maybe include like a contract within that NFT. This can all be done with Mintable because you can just upload all the legal documents and everything, put in just the metadata of the NFT, and then
you would use that NFT as a means of record. So you would say, hey, look, I just transferred the property to this new owner. The documents are all included in here that shows that, and he has that. And so now that's the rightful owner of this property, right? And so you have that blockchain record, that trail that you can follow along and, use for like audits or whatever.
And that's even more opportunity for people to start a business or get into it if they're in real estate already. If they want to get into it, or want to do like a portal, whatever. That's really interesting. But it's on local law, so it's still beginning phase. It's still the beginning.
Right. Well, the thing is it's the jurisdiction that has done it is going to dictate the difference, right? But then also you need to have that jurisdiction kind of. There's no legal precedent that's been set right now for NFTs. There's no court case that says, hey,
right,
I bought this house with this NFT, I should be able to move in, right? There's no court case has been set a precedence of NFTs as actual ownership. So you're going to have to work with them closely and say, hey, would you guys even accept this as a means of truthful ownership, right? And they'll say yes as long as you meet their criteria of what needs to be included, right?
If it was me, I'd start with timeshare companies because they can already do time sharing. I'd go down that route. So
yeah, I mean, you could.
You know what I mean? Because the title deed and they have parts of an apartment, but you buy a week every year, and they go all that laid out. So if anything, they can help you set it up. Let me ask this: what is the future of NFTs? What is coming to NFTs? Put your Simpsons hat on.
I understand
that. Put
that.
your Simpsons hat on.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what's coming. Right now we're stuck. This is why we haven't had a mass adoption of NFTs. Is we're stuck with two asset classes: collectibles and game items. And these are the low-hanging fruits.
Right.
It's really easy for people to say, "Oh, well, this game item, blah blah blah, this collectible, blah blah blah." But what we don't have is we don't have deeds. We don't have voting rights. We don't have legal documents. We don't have, insurance. There's one insurance project that does NFTs. But we don't have real world things that NFTs actually apply to. And so that's what's coming, because that's actually why we built Mintable. If you talked to us last year, and like you were one of the investors we were talking to, you would have heard our main line was like, we're opening the asset class of NFTs of what they can be by attaching files to them, by allowing for flexibility. So you're already seeing on Mintable like video NFTs, music NFTs. We have a comic book actually that's like an NFT. But this is all art and content. They're like creations. And over time, you're going to see services as NFTs, where if you buy this NFT, I'm going to tweet about you. That's actually already on Mintable. There's someone who's like, they're called shill tweets. You buy it, and they'll shill your project on Twitter, right, to their followers.
Oh, wow.
You're going to see, as a graphic designer, maybe I'm not a graphic designer, but maybe I was, and I wanted to sell some copyright-free images that you can use on your website or your blog, right? So you'll be seeing people that provide a service on like Fiverr or other marketplaces online, and they will be utilizing NFTs. And you ask yourself why? It's because they want crypto. That's it. That's why they want to do it. It's because they can sell.
Is that an untaxable event at time of speaking because you're bartering?
One, I'm not a tax lawyer. Two, it's going to depend on your tax jurisdiction. So whatever, where you are and where I am is two completely different tax laws.
Yeah, very true.
So it's going to depend. So I can't really speculate or say because I just don't know. It depends
if I accept an NFT for my services,
I'll tell you, it's going to be exactly like if you did it on any other marketplace. Right. Well, it's going to be on any other marketplace the exact same. If you're accepting a monetary value for your services, you're going to deal with it in the same manner as if it was an NFT. The thing is you're not accepting an NFT, you're accepting crypto. You're selling the NFT.
Right.
So the NFT is the service that you're providing. They pay with crypto, and then you can provide that service that you can ship your item. You can start a contract with them. I could upload the entire code for Mintable, which is, like a million lines of code. I can put it in a zip file. I can upload it on an NFT, and I can sell it on Mintable, its own platform, and say, for $100,000, if you buy this, you have the legal right to make a white label version of Mintable. and the code's all there, have at it, right? Like you have commercial rights to use it as an NFT. So right there, I'm letting someone who maybe made millions of dollars with crypto because they bought Bitcoin early, and now they want to start a business. So they're just going to buy all the code and buy the rights to use this code as an NFT. You see,
Right.
So this is a different asset class. That's not a collectible. That's not a game item, right? What is that? That's code. That's that's like a service. I'm selling like a white labeling service. That's that's a real world item. Well, it's code, so it's not real. It's not real, but you get what I'm saying. It's a different asset class than what we have now, and this is what's coming for NFTs. And a year down the road, you're going to see a lot of famous people making art NFTs. This is the low-hanging fruit. This is where a lot of people are going to get started, and you're going to see a lot of people innovating and start selling code, start selling fonts, start selling services, start selling private YouTube videos, using it as a Patreon service, right? And that is how we gain this scale of adoption for NFTs and crypto. It's a lot easier to explain to someone, hey, if you buy this item, it's like a baseball card, than saying, hey, if you invest in this pool, first you got to go buy your token on Uniswap, go into this pool, you're going to get an APR of like 2,500%, and then you can stake that to get this NFT, and then this NFT can be restaked. Like, that's really hard to explain, right? No one understands DeFi, but it's really easy to understand an NFT.
I got a few more questions about you, and I want to talk about NFTs a little bit more, okay? But I really want to get into your mindset, or how you, not what you did and how you got into this, but what drove to that. For the cryptopreneurs out there, okay? We'll get back into the NFTs. First of all, what does success mean to you?
There's two different answers here. There's the feels good answer, like the emotional feels good answer, and then there's like the real world diehard answer. The real world diehard answer is like a monetary value, right? Once I've made X amount of dollars, or I'm able to exit a company for this many millions of dollars, right? That is some definition of success. The other real world answer, or the feels good answer, these are both how I feel, but they're just two different camps of feelings. Is to have something that has been used by like thousands of people. In fact, the other day, this is almost a level of success that I felt. I took my dog to the dog park here in Singapore, and I had a Bitcoin shirt on. And this guy comes up and he's talking to me about crypto. He's like, "Oh, today's been a good day for Bitcoin, huh?" And we're talking, and he asked what I did. I told him I have a company here, and we started talking a little bit more. And I told him, yeah, it's called Mintable. And he's like, Mintable, I've heard of that. And I was like, no, you haven't. And I was like, no, you haven't. And he's like, we started talking more about NFTs, and then I showed him my website because we were talking about NFTs. He's like, oh, this Mintable. He's like, you work for them? And I was like, you know about us? And he was like, yeah, man, I've seen you guys on Twitter. And I just bumped into this guy at the dog park, in a big ass city. And that was crazy to me. I was like, whoa, I just ran into a user. So he's used our website. And, that felt like success. So when you build something that people have used, that, has helped people in some way, shape, or form, like, we're not bringing people, food in like Africa, but we're helping people either make their content or make some crypto or facilitate their creativity. So this is exciting. And this is, what I deem as success. If you can go make an app.
You might be helping people succeed enough to be able to help people in Africa. So you never know who you're helping.
There are some people from like Venezuela that I've talked to, Argentina, some poorer countries that we actually had one guy from Turkey, which it's not like a poor country or anything, but he didn't have money for crypto. So we sent him like the $10 he needed in crypto to make his first NFT. Right. Nice. And then he sold that for like $100, which is a lot of money where he's at, right?
Of course. Yeah. So
that is making an impact. And that's like success, right? If people are using something you built, then, that's some level of success right there.
So have you suffered any failures, and how do you handle them? That embarrassing failure you just thought of, that's the one I want on this video. That's that one.
Oh, man. Look, so when I got out of the military, I was like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And so, that's what I did. I've had a lot of different companies that I've started and failed. Some of them, didn't even make it to become a company. They were just an idea, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make all this money, and then it didn't. I'll tell you, okay, I guess the most embarrassing one, before, quite a few years back, when subscription boxes were kind of getting big, I was like, I'm going to make a subscription box, and it was going to be handmade holiday decorations. Okay. So I spent days hand making 50 of these boxes, which all had like 5, 6, 10 items in it for the 4th of July. And they were just really, shitty. They're just really shitty decorations. I'm not an artist. I'm not a designer. I've never made decorations before.
You didn't think about outsourcing?
I did, but it's like, this is the first run. I'll just do it myself in my garage, in my grandma's garage. And, and I made a website, and dude, I don't think I hit the deadline. I think by the time I was done with the 50 boxes for the 4th of July, it was like July 1st. So I had like 3 days to sell 50 boxes. And it was just a dumb idea. So
what'd you learn from it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things. The first is, validation. I think it was a good way to validate. A lot of times entrepreneurs, or at least myself, you get this idea and you start thinking, oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. Everyone's going to love this. This is going to be $1 billion idea, right? And you're just blind. You're blind by...
Because you love it.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And so first thing is I asked a lot of people. I did my market research. I went around, I asked a lot of people. I was in college, and I went around the campus and asked a lot of people. And they were like, yeah, maybe. But with market research, when you're doing it yourself, you're like, I think you would. I think you just said no, but I think you would have bought it, right? You don't listen.
Yeah. You want to hear what you want to hear.
Exactly. And
all my relatives are going to buy my shit. 100%, I'll at least make 100 sales because my relatives will at least read my book.
Right. Yeah, they probably won't actually. But so you learn, you just learn the basics of what it takes to, actually get off the ground by doing things like this. It seems almost childish, like building a lemonade stand for your kid, but it actually wasn't, right? Like I had a domain, I have a website that I built, I had products that I made, I did marketing, and you learn all these different things. You learn what works, you learn what doesn't work. You're like, I made this mistake once before on this other project, I'm not going to do that, or, so you learn about different things, and those just move forward for your next project, your next business that you want to start, and it just, gives you experience. It's kind of like a game, you level up, and now you have a higher skill level, or you're a higher level, more powerful. You just use those experiences and those lessons that you've learned from like, hey, this was a really bad idea. I did this wrong. I shouldn't have spent hours in my garage making it myself. If I couldn't outsource it, then obviously maybe that's a sign that this was not a good business, right?
Yeah.
And so, that was one of my failures. I've had more, of course.
So give me 3 pieces of advice to give to people that want to become successful with NFTs.
We're making a seller's university.
Especially mindset.
So I've been working on this.
Good.
First, you got to convey a message, right? You have to convey why your item is valuable. This is sales 101, right? You don't walk into someone's house trying to sell them a vacuum, but you don't tell them why it's valuable. You just say, give me your money, right? You got to sell them. And so that's the first thing is you need to be a salesman.
Learn sales, yeah? You got to learn sales because selling is not just take my shit. There's a science involved, yes?
I might be wrong here, but I don't think there's a single business that you don't need sales.
There isn't.
Is there? Right.
There isn't.
I'm pretty sure.
Even if you take like a doctor, the doctor that knows sales will make more money than the doctor that doesn't know sales. Because don't forget, sales is rhetoric, it's PR, it's networking, it's sales copy, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Body language, it's a lot.
Right, and so a lot of people that make NFTs are artists right now. And artists, they'll be the first ones to tell you, I'm not a salesman. I don't know sales. I can't market, but you need to. And it's not hard. I'm not asking you to go on a podcast for your NFT that you made on Mintable. But what I am asking you to do is to think of it like Amazon. If you're selling an item on Amazon, you're not going to copy and paste the title, subtitle, and description as the same three things. Like that item is never going to sell. But you see that on like Mintable. People will make an NFT and they'll do that. And I'm like, hey, come on, man. Get a little creative. You're an artist. Be creative. Put some story behind it. So that's the first thing: is be creative.
Zach, let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you right there, okay? Because this is a perfect time to show my stuff, right? So the Crypto Factor interviews some of the most successful people and pioneers in crypto. You're gonna be in part 2. Zach's gonna be in part 2, and it interviews people like Antonopoulos, Roger Ver, and everything. But the mindset, what they needed to get started, and the crypto marketing playbook. You can literally take this as a company, and I advise you get this, by the way. Get this as a company. It literally has sales copy, mindset, marketing strategies, and even marketing methods that haven't been used yet, and what companies are doing wrong to get you started. So I'll link those down below as well.
You should help us with our Sellers University. You should help us with the Sellers University that we're making. We're making it like a course to help
I was actually planning on talking to you about that after the interview. Because I love Mintable so much. I like the concept and everything. Got a lot to learn, but it's really exciting to me. Advice for cryptopreneurs wanting to get into the NFT business, whether it's mindset or whatever.
Crypto's hard. Like, crypto's harder than like a normal startup. And I'll tell you like 3 reasons why. One, there's not as many users as you think there is. Okay, there's just, I can't tell you how many times I've pitched an investor and they ask like, how many users you have? And you're like 5,000.
And that's a lot in crypto.
It is.
Because they don't get the money that can bring. Yeah.
If they're a crypto investor or they invest in crypto, like startup for their a blockchain fund, they're like, hey, good job. That's awesome. How much have you spent on marketing is what they follow up with.
Yeah.
Right. And we always say nothing. We don't do paid advertising. And they're always shocked. You go to a normal investor and you say 5,000, and they're kind of like, what the hell? What is this guy really pitching us an idea? He's barely got 5,000 people in their like app. It's the thing of a phone app. A phone app, you're supposed to have like 1 million users before you start doing anything like successful in terms of investors and stuff. So there's a big difference between crypto and a normal like tech startup. And that's just one aspect as the users. The other aspect is, if it's like, we're lucky with NFTs, it's not really a financial platform. People don't call us a scam. They don't say that we're just trying to, pump and dump or anything like that, because we don't have a token, and this is why we don't have a token, is because of that. But people also recognize, like, there's very few people think that Mintable is like a dangerous website or going to scam them. But you go to any DeFi website, and that's like always the first thing you're thinking about. Is like, okay, hey, is this a rug pull? Am I going to get scammed? What's going to happen here if this happens? So that's the other thing. People will blame you for anything and everything with crypto. People blame us if their transaction fails. And I asked them, I was like, did you edit the settings in MetaMask? And they're like, yes, I did. And I'm like, okay, and your transaction failed because you edited those settings. And they're like, yes, but I want my money back. And I'm like, but we didn't tell you to edit the settings, like you screwed up. So because people are dealing with money, you're going to have a lot of people that just get angry at you or call you a scammer. And most of the time, the best thing to do is to make it right? Like when the user comes to us and they say, hey, they want their money back, we happily, I send them directly from my wallet. Like my personal wallet, I'll send them the money, and that doesn't come from it, that comes from me. And I'm just like, look, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that happened. And that's what you got to do. But with crypto, it's just more prominent. And then lastly is, if it can be exploited, it's going to be exploited, right? It's crypto. So if they can steal money from you, once they take it, there's nothing you can do to get it back. So you're a target, right? And so it's hard. So crypto is hard. And what all that means is that you have to be extra strong. You have to really not give up. Like, you have to be able to be dedicated and devoted. You need to be smart, right? You just need to be smart about how you handle things and the routes that you take, and make sure that it aligns with the crypto ecosystem, right? You're not gonna get very far having a patent on your smart contract and having everything closed sourced and not being transparent and collecting privacy data and then selling your users out, you're not going to get very far in crypto if you do that.
Right.
So you have to align with the crypto ideologies, right? If if your business idea is something like a traditional bank and you want to have some traditional system and you don't support privacy, good luck getting any of the few users in crypto to actually use that. Right? No one's going to use it. So you got to be smart. You got to be dedicated. You can't give up, and it's tough. But that's life.
True. Do you have any daily habits and morning rituals?
Actually, no. Recently, my morning ritual's been horrible, man.
I wake up every day.
Well, I mean, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I wake up every afternoon. That's the problem. Right. It's like my sleeping schedule's screwed up. Sometimes, because I'm in Asia, most of the people that use NFTs and mintables in America, so I'm always up late. And then sometimes I'm up till like 3 a.m., sometimes like coding, sometimes helping users. And so because of that, my sleep schedule's screwed up, so I don't really have a morning ritual. The closest thing I have to a ritual is immediately make a pot of coffee. I love my coffee.
Let me guess, no milk and no sugar involved?
No, not at all. Exactly.
I went on tech pan. Fun.
Yeah. Well, I think I did that before I went on tech. That's a military thing. I'm used to drinking mud. Right. So, but I've got some really nice coffee right now here in Singapore. Anyways, so I get up. First thing I do is go to my computer, kind of live on my computer, right? That's what I do. So, check my emails and stuff, just the normal stuff. Nothing extreme. I'm not meditating and gain spiritual connection with my chakras or anything like that. So I should, but I don't.
Any hobbies?
Sadly, no. I mean, I'm a programmer, man. I used to have hobbies when I was in America. Here in Asia, all my hobbies are either illegal, not because like they're bad, just because Singapore's like there's a lot of laws here. So like I can't fly a drone. I used to fly drones. Can't do that. It's illegal here. So that's what I mean. Don't get the wrong idea. Also like I would go like rock climbing or surfing. Can't do that here. There's no place to rock climb. It's flat. There's no surf here. So all my hobbies have kind of been shut down because I moved. So the closest hobby I have here is video games. Sadly, that's really all there is to do here in Singapore. So.
Do you have a dog? You said you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have?
He's a mixed. So he's sitting right here. I'd show him. I don't know if it's gonna look good.
Yeah, I'd love to see him, man. Oh, he's beautiful. Look at him. He's cute. Yeah. Oh, he's so cute. He's got eyebrows.
Yeah, he's a Singapore special. So it's just a mutt. It's just a mixed dog here.
What's his name?
Austin.
Austin, cool.
Yeah, Austin, little boy. He's a good boy.
How old is he?
A little bit over a year, like a year and 3 months. Cool. And so, after we get off of here, I gotta feed him and take him to the dog.
Yeah, I gotta do it. My puppy's 8 months old, and he's already tearing down the house.
Well, dude, we gotta get this guy. Where's he at? Can you get these? He's ran off with it, but you get him these special bones. It's not like a bone; it's like a cheese stick. It's like a stick.
Right. You just leave it. Yeah.
It's a really hard stick, and he just chews on it all day, 24/7. He loves it.
I give my dog these big bones that are chicken wrapped that are supposed to last for a few days. He eats them in half an hour. He's a pit bull. It doesn't mess around. It's actually an American Amstaff, and it was the biggest one, the leader, and the biggest one in from all the other puppies in the litter. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's insane.
You want to know something crazy, man? Here's something really crazy about dogs in Singapore. I don't know. How much was that dog? You got maybe a few $100s?
Okay, so I bought him. When I bought my dog, it was very symbolic. I actually saw somebody selling him online. And when I bought him, it was 100 euros. And then this is not the price of the dog, though. And he accepted just 50. And I bought it down from a taxi from another city. And I never even saw him. He just described him to me and I got him. So it's a very weird situation. But
That's
this
fine.
dog would run around 350 to about 500 to 600 euros.
Okay, so how much do you think a dog is in Singapore? I'm from America. You can find a dog like outside the store, like in a box. And they're like free puppies, right? Right.
And
That's how it is everywhere.
If it's a mixed breed, it's free, right? But if it's a pit bull or a German Shepherd, it costs money. Yeah. Well, how much was it?
Because of COVID. First off, because we were looking for a dog for like 6 months. The average price is about $5,000 for a dog.
What?
Any dog, any kind of dog. And if you get like a husky or something, it'd be like 6,000, 7,000. Because of COVID, the average price right now is $12,000.
You're kidding me.
I shit you not. No, if I was going to open up a business in Singapore,
dude,
it would be a dog.
I'm moving there with my dog. My dog is like a.
I joke about it all the time. I'm like, Austin, we're going to sell you. We're going to make so much money on you.
I won't sell him. I'll make him have puppies. I'll buy another one and sell Amstaffs.
Bro, that's what I was trying to do, is because I was like, I'm not going to pay this. I was like, I just got to find someone who's got puppies and they'll give me one for free. And I could not find a single person that had puppies. Anyways, I'm telling you 100% legit, it is probably the most profitable business is just to import, buy 50 dogs, hire a private jet to fly them here, import them, and you'll sell the 50 dogs for like $12,000 each. What is that? That's like $500,000.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah,
so if we ever have a meeting together, it's going to be in Singapore, and I'm going to fly over with a few dogs.
The import process is ridiculous, man. There's so many rules in Singapore. You have to have a passport for your dog. It's got to be quarantined, not because of COVID, but just quarantined.
So there is expenses. There are expenses.
Yeah, you're gonna pay about $1,000, $2,000 to import a dog per dog. Yeah, but even then, I mean, I go buy a dog for a purebred for like $1,000, and anywhere else, import it for $2,000, fly it in for $2,000, sell it for $12,000. I'm still up like double my money. So it's crazy here. Anyways, okay, let's move on. I do need
about dogs in the crypto channel. Get your dogs, go to Singapore, sell them.
Tokenize your dogs as NFTs, okay?
Yeah, tokenize your dogs. You can. Okay, so but first of all, well, I got a question for you. If there was one question, and what I want to do is after this question, I want to cut the interview and I want to have you back on here because I want to have people asking questions down below this video. If you have any questions for Zach about NFTs, about business, anything you have, comment down below. I would love to have Zach back on the channel and answer them with you and talk more about this, if that's okay with you, Zach, of course.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to see the questions people have.
Awesome. So here's the question I have for you. What is one question you wish people asked you, but they never do?
Oh, that's a good question, man.
Or should ask you, but never do?
I don't know. I mean, I want to say, and I don't know if this is actually the best question that they should ask me, but this is just what comes to mind is, either why, how, or when is Mintable going to be like the #1 exchange for NFTs? And investors ask that, but normal users don't ask that. And I kind of wish they would, because a lot of people just don't know of the different things that we can do, or the features that we have, or the plans we have in the future. And that's a good segue to introduce all that stuff without seeming like we're just spamming all that information.
What's the answer?
Well, I mean, we've talked about it this whole episode, right?
Yeah, but somewhere, not the answer, but when it's going to become. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
I think within 18 months. Within 18 months, we'll be the #1 exchange. Yeah, and it could be anywhere from 6 months. With startups and tech companies or apps, you'll have a moment. It's like a pivotal moment where you just skyrocket, and users, you skyrocket, and daily active, everything, right? Your profit just skyrockets, and it just spikes, right? What could happen in CryptoKitty? What happens to Signal? Like right now, Signal's like booming, and so that could happen, like in the next 6 months. And I'm not betting on that. I'm saying that in 18 months, there's going to be a huge number of people that have come to Mintable, that have used Mintable, And Mintable will be the #1 place for NFTs, just simply because it's just the best place for NFTs right now. And we're going to continue to iterate. We're going to continue to grow our team. We've got some really cool investors that are helping us out. And so it's going to be powerful.
Awesome, awesome. And that said, I want to thank you very much for being here, Zach. Thank you for this interview. If you are watching, go ahead and subscribe down below if you like this interview and you want to see more interviews like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Zach, thanks again, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.